Okay, so today we're gonna dive right into it.
Yeah.
We've got this really interesting example of a natural English conversation between two people, Alex and Jamie.
Oh, good.
And we always talk about these deep dives and how they can be so helpful
Right.
for language learners to really see the nuts and bolts
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
how conversations work in English.
For sure.
So today we're going to break down this conversation and really look at how these two connect, the
Mm.
kinds of things they talk about, the flow, the rhythm,
Absolutely.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So what do we have here? What kind of stuff are Alex and Jamie talking about?
Well, basically, it's like a little slice of everyday life.
Okay.
We've got greetings.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about where they're from,
Mm-hmm.
what they like to do in their free time, daily routines,
Right.
even making plans for the weekend.
Okay.
So, all those little things that you need to navigate everyday life.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always so helpful to see these interactions like play out
Yeah.
in a natural way.
Absolutely.
Not something from a textbook or,
Exactly.
from a formal setting.
It's the real deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how do they even kick things off? I mean, it's not super formal or anything, right?
Not at all. It's very casual and relaxed.
Okay.
We hear, hey, everyone.
Uh-huh.
Hi. How's it going? Pretty good.
Right.
Just those quick little back and forths.
Yeah.
Even with something as simple as greetings, it's already setting up that conversational rhythm.
I see. So it's that back and forth, that quick response.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You respond, you keep the energy up,
Mm-hmm.
and that keeps the conversation flowing.
Okay, so right away they're already establishing a kind of a flow.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yep.
And then it looks like they jump into finding out where they're from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is that such a common kind of like opening question, do you think?
Well, I think it's a pretty natural way to try and find some common ground,
Mm-hmm.
or even discover some interesting differences.
Right, right.
It's like a little window into someone's background.
Okay.
And the way they answer is also very simple and
Yeah.
direct. I'm from Canada.
Right.
I'm from Australia, but I've been living here for 5 years.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No need to overthink it.
Okay, so then they move on to hobbies, I see.
Yeah, the classic. So what do you like doing in your free time?
Right, right. It's
Well,
almost like a must-have
it's a staple.
in any kind of, getting to know you conversation.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And here we see how they start revealing a bit more about their personalities.
Okay.
Alex is into hiking and photography.
Mm-hmm.
He even throws in a little self-deprecating humor,
Right. Oh, yeah.
But I'm not very good.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch.
It is, and it's something that you hear people say that a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's a good one for our listeners to, kind of pick up on.
Definitely, it makes you sound more approachable and relatable.
Yeah, and Jamie, on the other hand, mentions reading and gaming.
Yep, so we see a bit of a contrast there
Mm-hmm.
between the more active outdoorsy stuff and the indoor activities.
It's interesting how these, even just a few lines about hobbies,
Yeah,
already start to paint a picture.
absolutely. It's all part of that initial getting to know you phase.
Yeah, so it's like they're building a picture piece by piece,
Mm-hmm.
and then they move on to their daily routines.
Yeah,
It's like the next piece of the puzzle.
it is. And this gives us even more insight into their lives.
Okay.
Alex mentions starting work at 7 a.m. from home,
Hmm.
while Jamie's up even earlier going for a run before heading to the office.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's quite a difference.
it is. And notice Alex's reaction. Whoa, you're disciplined.
Right.
It's a spontaneous little comment that shows genuine engagement with what Jamie's saying.
Yeah, it's not just like a flat response.
Exactly. It shows they're actually listening and reacting in real time.
Uh-huh. So that's a good thing to keep in mind,
Definitely. When you're having a conversation is to really listen
Yeah,
and respond in a way that shows you're paying attention.
absolutely.
Okay, so they've covered quite a bit of ground now.
They have.
And then it seems like the conversation naturally shifts to making plans.
It does. Yeah, it's a smooth transition.
Yeah, it doesn't feel forced at all.
No.
So how does that
Yeah.
happen?
Well, Jamie just casually throws it out there. Hey, are you free this weekend? A few friends are going to a concert. Simple and direct.
Uh-huh. And then what?
Then a suggestion for dinner beforehand. Maybe we could grab some food before.
Yeah.
And a quick agreement from Alex. Deal. Text me the details later.
Okay, so it's all very laid back and easygoing.
Very casual. And it shows how, social arrangements are often made in everyday English.
Yeah, it's not this big formal thing.
No, not at all.
It's just sort of like, hey, you want to do something?
Exactly.
Cool, text me the details
Yep.
and you're good to go.
And And I also noticed that Jamie actually addresses the listener directly at one point.
Oh, yeah. He says, hope this conversation helps you practice. Try repeating our lines to sound more natural.
Right. Which is such a great reminder
Yeah.
that this is all about helping you, the listener,
Yeah,
improve your English.
absolutely.
So for all of you listening out there, what are some of the big takeaways that you should be, keeping in mind?
Well, I'd say first and foremost is that sense of flow in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know how it moves smoothly from one topic to another?
Uh-huh.
Then there are those go-to questions that people use to get to know each other.
Like the ones we just talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how casually those plans can come together.
Right. So you've heard greetings, discussions about backgrounds and hobbies,
Yep.
a little glimpse into their daily lives,
Mm-hmm.
and how to make social plans.
In just a few minutes of conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty amazing how much information you can pack into a short exchange.
It is. And, it makes you think, how would you answer these same questions
Oh, yeah.
about yourself,
In English.
in English, right?
Mhm.
How would you describe your hobbies?
Yeah.
What does your typical day look like?
How would you make plans with someone?
Right. And think about the rhythm and the flow of your own English.
Exactly.
Try it out, see what happens.
Yeah, maybe even practice with a friend.
Yeah, and see where the conversation takes you.
Absolutely.
That's a great point to end on, I think.
I think so too.
Thanks for diving deck with us today.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you next time.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.